So I'm still out here in Florida spending time at Bok Tower and Gardens. You can see it a little bit more prominently behind me here. One of the largest bell instruments in the entire world, a park and garden that was established over 100 years ago, or right at 100 years ago, by a man named Andrew Bok, who was a leader in activism and fighting for making the world a more beautiful place and making people happier along the way. And I took a few screenshots of plaques and pamphlets that were in the museum that we were going through. That sort of set the foundation for the way that I approached this experience, this historical site, and what I've been thinking about while I've been here. And Bok had an interesting way of breaking down and analyzing a person's life. It said that he broke a human's life down into 3 categories or factors: education, achievement, and then service. And that simplified way of talking about it really struck a chord with me. I already have a video talking about the dedication and the example that is set by this environment, by something that outlives your life, a legacy that improves the world, inspires others. The whole reason and idea we are creating and inspired to hopefully make the world a slightly better place, even if it's just by a tiny, tiny percentage of a percentage point. But that analysis, that idea of a person's life, of the stages that you go through, of the point of what we're doing and the end goal, the perception of it, it just stuck with me. It stuck with me all day. It's been something that I've been chewing on in my mind, trying to understand. And this series, this stuff here on YouTube is really a documentation of what I am learning as I grow up and venture and journey and discover the world around me and learn from people that I am inspired by and invite and look for people to come on this journey with me. People who are hungry to understand how to make the world a better place, to succeed at their goals, to support their family. There's the bells behind me. And so this space and the person who found it and the inspiration that it set and the way that it emphasizes the beauty of life and the beauty of nature and preserves a small piece of what Florida is and was while still painting a picture of the impact that humans can have. I mean, this tower, set here with chimes that ring every hour across the landscape, set to enhance the beauty, to be a call to action on the highest point in this entire state. It's a monument to what we can be. And those 3 principles, let's find out what time it is. And those 3 principles. Your life starts with education. From a young age, observing and absorbing and mimicking your parents or dabbling along with language all the way through elementary and middle and high school, and for some of us college, where we begin to learn to read books and communicate and talk fluently and discover the world around us. And education goes beyond that schoolroom, beyond that classroom, to the videos that you're watching here on YouTube. If you discovered this channel, you're here to be inspired and educated and learn from me, while I am actively documenting myself learning from others, right? It's what I do on a daily basis, from reading audiobooks to, from reading real books to listening to audiobooks to seeking to understand and interact with the world in a way that makes me more conscious of what I can learn from it. It's something that Jordan Peterson emphasizes in his book, 12 Rules for Life, the idea that you should approach every conversation, every individual, as if they have something to teach you. Not that they do or that they will, but if you open up the invitation to being taught, to the idea that you don't know something, if you are willing to be educated, then you will potentially you'll be grateful for doing so. And so life begins at education. We learn, we establish, we set in place habits and goals that allow us to be successful. And then, even though education, I would argue, continues to some degree, we move into achievement, where we take the knowledge that we're learning and we start to apply it. Because education is entirely useless and worthless unless you are utilizing it for what it was designed to be. If you're a good communicator, if you're great at video production, if you're a wonderful photographer, doing so, using the knowledge and the skill and the experience you have to benefit others, to earn an income, to pursue your dreams, that is where achievement is made real. That is where education is put into practice, and you slowly start building something that leads to the third point. That leads to the reason for it all, right? A list of 3, that third point is the story of it all. From the very beginning, when you begin learning, usually that role, the role of a teacher, is a service unto you. Oftentimes the people who have invested in us, whether it was our parents, friends, family, for me it would be my grandparents a lot of the time, they sacrificed because they thought that my education, the future that I could have, the life that I could live, would potentially be worth it. Would be worth the time they had to spend working through my dribbles and, cleaning up after me as a child and slowly progressing to when, I hiked the Appalachian Trail, or I moved in with them when my family was going through, divorce and some pretty serious things. They believe that the investment of time, emotional, empathy and compassion, of money and resources, of a better part of their retirement years, was for some reason worth investing in me. And so that was an act of service. And then when it comes to the application, the achievement, you're doing all of that for a reason. Usually it is not for yourself, for your own selfish self-interests. It is a pursuit of something that allows you to invest in others, invest in your community, build a stable life for your friends and family, build a life that you are happy with, that you are satisfied with, a life that allows you to retire and explore and live a good and happy life. Life is hard, right? I say it a lot because I feel it. It's one of the most powerful things that I ever was willing to admit, just how hard it can be. And so that gets to the third point. Life starts with education, moves into achievement, and ends in service. The point of it all, what are you pursuing if it's not for that? To give back to those around you, to invest in the next generation, to care for people along the way. Whether it's your friends and family or an audience of people that will visit your park 100 years in the future that don't know of the legacy you set, that'll be inspired by your bells, calmed by your environment, and maybe care about the earth and the world and the space we live in a little bit more because of the foundation you set. It's what Bok did, in a way that I think has had a notable impact on countless generations. It's currently having one on me, right? This experience is incredible. Processing and thinking it through and sharing this with the audience and the camera means that it will be an experience that I can ruminate on, that I can look back on, that I can pursue and seek to understand better as time moves forward. Your life ends in service. Unto others, unto the world. I don't know. I love that breakdown, though. Dave Ramsey, when he's talking about financial management, talks about, doing everything you can to get out of debt, right? The gazelle intensity, that mentality of, I have to free myself from these restrictions. I need to educate myself in a way that allows me to be established. And then you have the achievement period, where you utilize the wealth you've built in a way that allows you to capitalize and build more and have a secure, stable environment so you can pay off your house, pay off your mortgage, own a car, provide for your family, keep a roof over your head, and build a retirement plan and savings that will carry on for generations to come. But then he also emphasizes this idea of service, of what life is about, of what the work and the intensity and the desire to be debt-free and build wealth for yourself and your family and your community. It's all about how you can invest that into others. You see, the most wealthy people in our world sign pacts and documents that say they'll give almost all of it away before they die. Maybe if we understand the journey we're on, the destination we're heading to, and the reason why we're pursuing what we're pursuing, we can better plan, seek to understand. We can better direct our interests in a way that allows us to achieve that ultimate goal. Because if life, at the end of the day, if our pursuits and our dreams and our wealth and our success, at the end of the day, is designed around service, well, then maybe the steps we take to get there, they change a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking. This is one of those things that has been on my mind for only about 6 or 7 hours, right? Processing and experiencing, and now I'm doing my very best to share and talk and discover it with you. So let me know your thoughts on that idea, on that journey that Bok says we're on. Let me know what your experience has been. I'd love to have a conversation. 3 things: education, achievement, and service. I'm going to go think about it some more.